I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid too because I got at least a gram of Piatella of Skittles.
Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the James Lab Podcast. And today, our special guest is Marco from CGO, Connoisseur Grade Only, the man, the myth, the guy who rolls some of the best joints I've ever smoked. How you doing today, Marco?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you've done a bunch of podcasts out there. You roll great joints. We were hanging out in Vegas. You were with Bruno Rolls.
Yep.
You guys killing it.
Yeah, we're having a great time, man. Serving you guys up with some amazing rolls. Had a great time. The vibes were awesome.
That was quite an event. You know, we did the food out there. I think Sergio put that thing together, and it was wild.
Man, the food was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. You did your thing. You know, you got down. You was there from sun up to sundown. Dang near.
2 days. We did shopping one day, we did prep in the night, and then rocked it out the next day. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I love those collaborative events where it's like 15 people come together to make it special. And like literally, it just was the tie-in. We got the good flour, we have the contest, we got the rollers, we got the food. I got my buddy who was a chef at the Win.
Yes.
You know, yes. Ricky helping out. It's like all these people contributing to make something so much bigger than themselves special. And, you know, that's what I'm all about.
Nah, definitely, bro. It was a real synergy. We had it all going together, you know. I enjoyed every bit of it. You know, I was I got invited and it was great. I had an amazing time.
Yeah. Dude, so I just want to jump into it right away. You got Hash Hole Island coming up. We've been talking about this for a minute, and I'm super excited about Hash Hole Island.
Yes, man. I'm super excited, man. We got some real fun for you guys. You know, it's going to be amazing. We got some performers coming out. We got great food. We got some rides, some games, you know. We got this trackless train coming out for everybody to enjoy, be able to, because some people don't like to walk. So, you know, we're going to, there's a little perk so people can just get on it and just ride around the little island for a little bit.
Nice.
Definitely.
Well, and I feel like it's the right time of year to do an event out in Rio Vista. Rio Vista is a special place. So I grew up in the Bay Area. We used to go out and get crawdads out in Rio Vista.
Oh, snaps.
You know, yeah. So definitely I've been fishing out in the Delta, water skiing, wakeboarding growing up. And so the Delta's special. I go out there maybe once a year. And to be able to go out for Hash Hole Island, it's going to be exciting.
Man, I'm telling you, it is. We got people coming out with their boats, you know, their jet skis. There's a dock right there. We also have boat slips too. So it's really cool. You know, people can bring out whatever water activities they want to come bring out. Maybe do a boat tie off. You know, we never know.
Yeah, and there's going to be lots of hash holes. Hash holes are popping these days. It's wild how many people are doing hash holes. You got a competition as well?
Yes. We got a competition for all the attendees, the sponsors and brands there. If you want to be a part of it, you know, make sure you check out our page, you know, check out hashholeisland.cal and check us out. You know, there's a lot of good information there to find out for the event.
Yeah, and I'm going to be there with the Cannabis brothers. We got a 10x20, and we're going to be doing live podcasts. We're going to be smoking everybody out. We're going to be hanging out, having a great time. It's going to be an adventure.
It's going to be an adventure. We have people coming from all over the nation. We got people coming from different parts of the world, you know, and I'm really excited for everybody to get to meet new people. You know, that's really what we do this for, is for everybody to get to know someone new and, you know, build their network and build their net worth, you know.
Yeah, and this is this second or third year?
This is our third annual.
Yeah, third annual. So congratulations. I'm looking forward to this event.
Yeah, time is flying, man. It's crazy. I can't wait, you guys. May 17th. Make sure you tune in.
Yeah. So let's dive into your history with joints and history with cannabis. Let's start out with when you started smoking, how you started smoking, what area are you from?
Oh, man, I'm from Sacramento, California, first and foremost, you know, the city of trees. I also want to say, I started smoking around, I think I was a teenager, around 13-ish, 14 years old, you know, and first time I smoked, it was in a tree. I was hiding from my mom.
Nice. Those were the days, though, man. We used to smoke in trees behind the school. We climb up in the trees and smoke. We're lucky we didn't break our necks and stuff like that.
That part. I think I was smoking out of a can too. It was funny as shit.
Totally. Popping the little holes in the can. You bend it and you pop the little holes and you hit it with the lighter.
Right.
Little aluminum never hurt us.
Just a little aluminum never hurt us, you know.
Bammer weed and aluminum, bro. I mean, we had good bud too. We smoked in cans, but it was like the thing where you didn't have to carry around a pipe. You can get in trouble for carrying a pipe when we were younger.
Yeah, paraphernalia.
Big trouble. Yeah, big especially being under the age of 18 or 21, I guess it is. With cannabis.
Man, I'm telling you.
So, yeah, but good times. California's been a great place for weed. You know, I feel like we're somewhat the epicenter of cannabis legalization, you know, from Oakland and then all the way out in Sacramento. There's so many big brands out there.
Nah, definitely all over, you know, Northern California and SoCal. We're like a mecca. You know,
we are a mecca, yeah, for
definitely.
Sure. When it's amazing, Sacramento is just popping up with great brands and great cultivators, great rollers, great everything. You know, it's like they've got a good food scene out there. You want good sushi, they have some amazing sushi out there. But like literally, when it comes to cannabis, Sacramento has its own thing and own identity, and I love that.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, a lot of people don't understand, you know, Sacramento is the city of trees. You know, we have the fire. That's why they changed the narrative, because they didn't want that stigma on Sacramento as being the capital of California. Yeah. So they had to change it. But definitely, you know, come out, come visit us, come check out the fire we create. Yeah. It's really cool. You know, we encourage people to come visit our city. You know, it's not LA, but it's definitely, you know, it's its own special little thing. Yeah,
the scene there is extra special. It's not LA, it's not the Bay, it's not the Emerald Triangle. It's its own thing. And they have their own energy. Like, I mean, the Connect community, they do events out there. You know, Sergio, again, he does amazing stuff.
Yep, shout out to him.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's amazing. There's breeders out there too. I mean, you guys literally have you want extract, you want breeders. They have amazing extract artists out there.
Definitely.
You know, and some of the biggest brands are out there as well.
No, yeah, you're right, man. Shout out to all the big dogs out there crushing it, man, on the daily. You guys are straight inspiration.
Yeah, it's tough these days, you know, and I think there's the one side of the industry where everyone's like got jaded and they're upset, and it's like there's still a lot of us that are excited about the industry. I'm still excited every day. I love coming to work. I mean, yeah, of course there's times where it's like, man, it sucks. But I'm also on the genetic side, not on the cultivation side. So it'll be being a cultivator isn't easy these days, and you have to be the best. Like if you're going to do it, you better be the best.
Right. Everything's batch to batch nowadays. You know, that wrong batch, you know, might give you a bad representation of what your product may be, and it just might have been a bad week, you know?
Right. You're only as good as, like when I was a chef, it was you're only as good as your last meal, right? But it's the same thing with cannabis. It's like you're only as good as your last batch. If you put a batch of crap out, you put a batch of hand rolls that are shit, hash holes, something bad, you know, it's like it can ruin your reputation, it can ruin your brand and knock you down a few steps.
Definitely.
But that's why it's so important to be humble too, you know what I mean? And also quality assurance is so important. You have to have that quality control.
Yes.
And, you know, it's like these things aren't easy. And especially if you want to perform at the highest level, especially with hand rolls, which I've known, like we've been going through it because I work with SF Canna and I work with several other brands. And it's like, how do we do it to where it's cost effective? Because these days you can't charge what you used to, but also to get a product that's your quality is very, very difficult. And I think most people don't understand. You don't just teach somebody how to roll a joint. You have to be passionate about joint rolling, right? First, it has to be passionate.
There has to be the passion, the love for it. You know?
And if you don't smoke, you have to have friends. Everybody has to smoke around you, because it's like there's no way for you to learn to see if it burns correctly unless you're smoking.
Literally, because you won't know, you know, like I was saying earlier, it's all about pressure points, you know, when you're rolling, you know, too much pressure causes it to clog, you know, therefore then making it combust at a hotter temperature, then therefore burning up your terps. And then when you go to hit it again, it's going to taste like nothing. Yeah. You know, compared to when you roll it more looser, a little loose, but a little tight, you know, not too loose to where it's gotta just you know, like it's all airy. That's definitely not the way you want to smoke, but we can go into more of that.
Oh yeah, well, and there's so many little details, and I'd love to share with the people that watch my podcast, because we haven't had someone in a long. We had Chris, professional joint roller, come on the show before, and he has his own perspective and outlook, and I think he does really good work as well.
Yeah, shout out to the guy right there,
dude. Yeah, and he really, I mean, he basically goes and QCs everyone else's work, which I love. Somebody's got to do it.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love when he was doing that. He needs bring it back.
Yeah, seriously, bring it back. That was good stuff, and I feel like
bring it back.
I'm not the guy to put people on blast, but if you want to do that and you want to show people what's actually out there, what's out there in rec, I mean, we were just looking at some products that are from September, and it's like, it's really tough when you're trying to get your product out there to a consumer and you want them to smoke it immediately and they don't smoke it for 4 months. What does that look like in the jar, or in the joint?
No, that's true. Definitely. It's like a big gap between like the quality and the how long it is, like it lasts, the longevity of the freshness.
Yeah.
Because, some, depending on how it's grown with salts or if it's organic, I feel as if sometimes organic, like what is that? The Synganics or with like salts and organics.
Right. I love Synganic personally.
So like, I feel like that stuff lasts a little bit longer than, salts, and sometimes organic, doesn't really last long, but it does. In my eyes, it does sometimes, because I had a batch from October.
Yeah.
We're on the last like 10 cases, but they're from October, but they still taste like they did when we rolled them. Yeah. And that's what's so crazy. Based on how you roll them, that's how long,
how you
you'll
roll
see
them, how you store them, all that. Yeah, it's really interesting. And with rolling joints, I've been rolling joints since the 90s. Like my joints have definitely gotten better, especially over the last year. I really stepped my game up since last year, and I go down these deep dives where I'm like, okay, which tip is the best? What gauge tip is the best?
Right.
What paper is the best? And let's try them all and smoke. And I really enjoy that part of it too, because I enjoy smoking. I enjoy the R&D side of it.
Definitely.
And then getting into hash rolls. Now it's like, okay, what kind of hash works the best? What, like there's so many different types of hash, even within rosin. There's several types of rosin. There's several grades you can work with.
Definitely.
Will food grade work? Will, fresh flower pressed rosin work? It's like that. There's so many different options with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables with that, definitely, because, you have some fresh press that's going to be, less stable. And then you have some that's really stable that stays cold cure for like 2 months, literally, and then you have some that literally turns over in 2 days. It just varies on the stability of the actual compound of, either it being fresh press or cold cure or Piatella.
Piatella. I like the Piatella, and Piatella yields 100%, whereas the second you squish it with rosin, you get, you get an 80% yield, so you're losing 20%, but also the Piatella is meant to be aged for a long time. And so I'm just now getting into it, R.I.P. Frenchie.
No, definitely.
But Frenchie's the motivation for all this stuff, and I feel like I'm doing Frenchie justice, and he would be smiling right now. When I'm
definitely.
Skittles Piatella, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I know, man. We got something fire rolled up.
Yeah, and it's like, so this stuff's exciting for me. And then it's like the nuances with joint rolling. It's like most people are like, oh, it's just a joint. It's like, it's not just a joint, because there's every last little detail needs to be considered, right? Like whether it's the paper, the tip, the gauge of the tip, the crutch that's in the tip.
Yep.
And then even when you're smoking it, there's ways you can smoke it where if you don't smoke it correctly, you're going to ruin the experience.
Definitely. There definitely is different ways to consume the cannabis, especially like when you're smoking, say you're smoking something like this right here.
Yeah.
This one is 2 grams with a half gram. What did we put? Squirt with some SB26 from Dream, all living soil right here. Definitely, like some people are very big on white ash. Some people don't really understand the difference between white ash and black ash, gray ash, like living soil usually doesn't really give you something that's like a super bone white ash, based on the compounds and how it's grown.
Right. And the way you're able to flush stuff out of it. And, I think there's a lot to it. And my opinion is does it taste amazing? Does it make you feel good? I think those are the two most important things. White ash is something that we've only been talking about for a while. And it's so funny that a lot of guys, it's their first thing on their check. Does it burn white? Does it drip? And I think the drip is very subjective to individuals. Is there that oil ring? And I do love a good oil ring. Don't get me wrong.
Definitely.
I enjoy looking at a good oil ring. And, someone told me that with white ash, it almost always is smooth. And with like the grayer ashes or the salt and pepper, it's like that could be hit or miss,
Right.
But with white ash, it always is smooth. And I don't know whether I agree with that, because you can put a lot of calcium in there.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's subjective for sure, like the guys say, because, like this is burning pretty decent, but it has a small throat bite. like a small one. It's really good. It's smooth, but it does have a little bite. I smoked one. Yeah. And it did. I was like, oh, well, had a bite. I can't even get mad at it.
Right.
You know?
And sometimes the flavor is so good, you just can't get mad at it for sure.
Yeah. And that's the burn so good. Like, it hurts so good, you know, because it's like, it's good, but you feel that you're like, you know, in the back of your throat.
Yeah. And it's some stuff. I love the gas. And even if it has a little bit of burn, that's okay. Straight Skittles, it should be smooth all the way down to the road.
Always,
you should be tasting that flavor. And then I like Skittles with Skittles rosin too. Like,
oh my God, the Z on Z goes crazy, definitely.
Yeah, it's wild. So, and the beautiful thing is now we're getting in also these flavor combinations too.
Definitely, bro. Right. There's so many cool combos to come up with. It's unlimited.
Yeah, and then you can blend rosin on top of that. So we can have the rosin blend. We could even do the flower blend and combine those where you got, 5 or 6 things blended. And now it becomes almost like how wine is created in these different blends. And I love that.
And as time goes by, they do rolls cure up, sometimes they cure up for the best, sometimes they cure up for the worst.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like combos, doing flour blended with hash, then rolled with rosin, them are great ideas for people. Like if you're coming up and you want to be different in the industry, there's a tip right there.
Yeah. There's so many little things that you can do to make yourself a little bit different. It's just like even how these rollers, every single roller I know has their own way of doing it, and I love that, especially at the top level, right? The guys at the top level, I feel like you guys all have your own specific way of doing it, and there's no right or wrong way. They're all beautiful joints. They all smoke properly.
Really, though. Shout out to all the big dogs out there. We got Bruno Rolls, we got Stuart Doinks, we got Sav, we got Strain Chasers. Shout out to Roll BMC. There's so many amazing top dog rollers out there. Yeah. It's really cool to see because everybody has their own techniques, and styles, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys are just upping the game for everybody else, and it's great being part of this community, especially at this high level.
Definitely.
So, and then the access to good flour and rosin, that's just next level too.
Oh, literally. It's cool, man. We're coming up with so many cool ideas, with different collaborations for the rec market right now. So it's really cool to see, what we're able to come up for the people of California.
Yeah, and we have a great rec market. What there's people that might want to hate on it or whatever, but our rec market is pretty good. And it's growing. It's definitely
one day
growing.
at a time. We're making it better. Brands like myself and James, and what he does. He's obviously searching through all these genetics. Popping beans every day, night, day. And he's creating a new way for us. So we have new strains of flour and new strains of rosin to pair with. And it's really cool to see.
It's all about pushing the plant forward, and I feel like I'm trying to do my job and also just stay in my lane. As far as for breeding, like I need to take a deep dive down rosin. So I go study rosin and how it's made, and I want to understand it. I don't need to be an expert on it. Same thing with joint rolling. I don't need to be the best joint roller. I can roll good joints.
Right.
I feel like I can roll joints that you can sell because I feel like it's important. I need to understand the smokability also because when we do pheno hunting, I give out joints to people and I'm like, tell me what you think about it. I don't give nugs out really anymore. Right. We do a little bit, but for the most part.
Because they're not going to understand it. They're not going to roll it the way they need to.
And one person to the next is going to have a different experience. If he smokes it in a pipe or he smokes it in a bong or he smokes it in a vaporizer, he's not going to have the same experience as the guy who rolls a joint. At least we can try to put people on the same level.
Yeah,
right.
And they can understand.
Get the same feedback. And we're going through so many different phenotypes constantly. There's that one area where it's like it has to be consumed. You got to tell me your personal experience with it. We can't look at a piece of paper and it's going to say, yeah, this one burns this way or this one tastes this way. Even though it has these terpene profiles, there's so many nuances within the terpenes and flavor combinations of terpenes. And it's not just terpenes because there's flavorants. There's all these other components, right? That basically sulfur-based compounds that make stuff gassy. I like that, but you don't measure those with terpenes.
No, that's true. That's a lot, for people to understand, when it comes to, we're not just smoking, it's really something that it's a lifestyle, it's something that we're learning to evolve into too as well,
Right. And trying to take it seriously and as scientific as possible, but yet still considering all the nuances and all the details in a way that other people can digest.
Right. Definitely. Can we burn one in here?
We better burn one in here.
Yeah, let's light one up real quick.
Yeah, I'm down.
So we can start talking about ash structure. And so like another good thing, like I want to show you guys the proper ways to light a joint, would be obviously there's a crown. You know, using your torch. Torch is always the best.
Yeah.
Using torch is optimal. But if you're not using a torch, use a Bic. You know, I don't recommend it though, just based on the flint causes a soot when you go to light it. There's that black little ash that goes up. Yeah, it's not good for you.
Yeah,
So,
and it's easier to get a nice cherry going. You can get that nice even burn on the top, and it's just and I think the Dutch Crown is really special. I think that's what differentiates the good and the great rollers a lot of times. Not always, but I feel like the guys who do the Dutch Crowns really good do a really good job.
definitely, I feel that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole art. So basically, with our hand rolls and our hash holes, we're gonna have a piece of paper. They'll have a QR code, but also it's gonna say directions, and then there's literally an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with instructions. And we try to keep it light and funny, but also at the same time, it's important to educate people on how to smoke it, because you can't smoke it like a cigarette.
Right. No,
It's more like a
definitely.
cigar, but also you have to hold it. You know, I mean, there's a certain way you should hold them. You know, and then same thing with the ash. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to ash it." You know, I say,
Right.
don't ash my joint. Like
Definitely.
that's the one thing you don't want to do.
Right.
And it's the one thing is very counterintuitive, because you're like, "Oh, there's ash. I need to ash it."
Right. No, definitely that is true. There's so many times that, you know, I was out there and when I was in LA a lot of people aren't really too educated, but there are a lot. So it's just funny when I was out there chilling, I noticed that a lot of people were just smoking casually, literally hitting it back to back, back to back. I was like, wait, but I didn't want to say anything because I just wanted to continue to see how other people smoke, their interactions with the joint.
Right.
And everybody's just gonna and just back to back and back to back.
As big a hit as they possibly can.
Literally.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, education is key.
Right.
I wanted to take a second to educate people, but we're at a party, so it's not really a time.
It's not
We're
the
all
time and a
chilling.
place to interrupt everybody and say, "Don't ash it. Smoke
Yeah.
it slow." You don't want the cherry to get too hot because that'll destroy the terps, right? And that's the
Definitely.
beauty with ash too, right? So if you have a nice ash on there, it's going to keep that cherry nice and cool.
Definitely insulates the heat like none other. It's really cool though, you know, when you pay attention to like how a joint's performing. You know, like how long it takes for it to spark. Is it instant combustion? Is it combusting correctly?
Right.
Like, you know, when you're smoking it, you know, sometimes people will light a joint and they'll forget it and it goes right out.
Mhm.
Compared to like if the flower is grown correctly, it's, you know, been fed, it's been taken care of, loved, you know, that joint will stay lit for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes, you know, it'll stay lit for a long time.
Oh yeah. Even if it looks like it's gone out, a lot of times it's still ready to go.
Literally. It's pretty good right here.
Nice. And then where you put the rosin in the joint is so important too. You want to put it back a little ways. Some guys bring it all the way to the tip, and I don't think that's the right way to do it.
No, I mean, I like to put it in the middle-ish kind of, like at least 1/3 from the front. So the reason why is I like to be able to let the flower combust, get it, you know, you want to try the flower. What are you pairing it with? If you put the hash in the front, you're not really going to get that chance to experience the flavor, you know, on your palate with the actual, like the flower, the terpenes from the flower.
This is good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh? It's a
really good.
mandala squirt.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that Starburst taste to it. I love
That's
that.
funny because we paired it with some Starburst.
That's the perfect pairing.
Yeah, I put a squirt with Starburst number 26. It's a pheno that Dream by ESG out in Sacramento. They that's one of their phenos right there.
Yeah, this is really special. So yeah, we're doing a food show. We'll get you back on the food show, and the food show is going to be omakase style, where we pair different food with either joints, dabs. You know, we'll
Or
use
even
different
alcohol, because
devices.
I've seen some really good alcohol out there too. I was like, oh man, a shot sounds nice.
Totally, yeah. If you do, and you don't even need a full shot, you just need a little sip. And I think we have the kitchen set up here so we can do the food show, and it's going to be great because we can incorporate my genetics, whether
Right.
it's in the form of rosin, piatella, joints,
Yes.
bong rips, you name it. We can smoke at any vaporizers. We get a vaporizer company to come on the show, show us their vaporizers, then we try different things.
Right,
and
there's
pair
a
it
lot
all
of
with
cool
food.
vaporizer companies out there too as well nowadays.
Oh man, yeah. Stores in Bickle too. They have a really great. You know, they're the
Yeah,
volcano
they're crushing it.
manufacturer. Yeah, and I think they just do a really good job. But so there's so many different companies with devices that are good now. It's like I'm a huge fan of Focus V and all the
Yeah,
stuff they're
yep.
doing. You know,
Yeah, no, shout out to the homies over there with Focus. You know, they're crushing it. You know,
yeah, that's special.
yeah, it's pretty nice, man. I enjoy it. You know, this is one of the roles that we entered into the proper doing competition.
10K.
It wasn't the 10K winner though.
Yeah.
So we're smoking it now though. We're enjoying it. Tastes good. It's smooth. It's got a little baby bite.
It has a nice bite though. Like I feel like it's like that's how it should be. That's how you know you're smoking weed. You know what I mean? Like it's got that. It's full flavor too. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like very. Some of these ones are very linear, where it's like it's one thing and it's like either super candy or super papaya, or even with that GMO. Like you get the Gax and the GMOs together, where it's like those are special too. Right. But I love the complexity where it's like multi-layered. And then as you burn it down, like the flavor gets intensified. And then you're like, wait, there's terps I didn't even taste on the first
Literally.
couple hits.
And then there's one thing too, you know, there's a couple of things about our palate, you know, when we smoke, you know, from the left to the right to the middle, you know, your palate's going to interact different with each hit just based on its different taste buds, you know, with your palate. So always remember that when you're smoking. Try it out. You know, I'm not saying it's fact. It's bro science. Yeah. So hit it from your left. Hit it from your right. And once in the middle. And then you'll be able to, you'll taste three different, it's crazy, you know, but try it out there if you haven't tried it.
Dude, this thing is burning really nice. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for.
No, it's performing. It's doing a great job. It's really smooth.
Yeah, and so as far as tips, what are your preferences on tips?
So, I mean, it just varies depending on the size of the roll that I'm going to create. If I'm rolling like say I'm rolling 1 grammers, I roll for the rec mark. I do a 1 gram with the 0.2. Yeah. So I do those with the 10 mil. If I could, I'd get a 9 mil, honestly. Yeah. Just because the smaller in diameter restricts airflow, therefore causing it to burn at a slower rate. And what happens when it burns at a slower rate, you get a better accuracy of flavor. Right. You know, and I feel like, you know, because like with that one, it's a bigger tip. That's a 12 mil, 12, you know. Yep. And like it's like when you hit it, it's like a cannon. It just hits you. It's like, whoa, it's there. Yeah. Compared to like when you're smoking a smaller diameter tip, it's like it's a more slower hit.
I'm still on the fence of whether I like the 10 to the 12, but I guess it's depending on the amount of flour you use. Definitely. It has a lot to do with it. If you're using a lot of flour, you got to use a 12. And
definitely. Anything over like 2.5, 2 grams, 2 grams and up, definitely a 12 mil is good, depending on how the flour is, though, because there's some flour that's fluffy, and there's some flour that's really dense. I mean, and a 2 grammer will look like a 1.5 to you. Right. You know, so sometimes it just varies.
Right. The Z we got is pretty fluffy, right? And so you put a 2 gram Z next to a 2 gram of
GDP or something really dense, you know?
Speaking of which, we got the ZDP coming. Dude. We're going to have to do a collab on that 100%.
Oh, definitely, dude.
That one's special, and it's everything you would, you know, like if you hear the ZDP, you're like, oh man, when I think of ZDP, it leans heavy on the Granddaddy with a hint of Skittles.
Oh, dang. So now I'm over like thinking, do we put more Skittles rosin or do we put like a grape gas uva rosin, you know, something that has that grape flavor, or them Skittles?
Yeah, I mean, Skittles makes everything taste better pretty much. So it's always like, I always go to Skittles right away, but it's like, what I should be doing is going towards different things that complement it more, because Skittles pretty much across the board, you know what to expect. It's going to be more candy. It's going to be super sweet. It's going to be delicious. It's smooth. Right. Yeah, the rosin is smooth. It's not overly strong. Like, dude, that crippy rosin is fucking amazing, but it is so strong. Like, even in the pen, the vape pen, like you can smoke Skittles 5 hits. 1 hit of the crippy is equal to 5 hits of the Skittles.
Jesus. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, I was just thinking, like, say with the flour of, like, say the ZDP, said it's a heavy GDP, meaning it's more grapey, more floral. Like floral.
It's that lavender floral, old school. But the thing is when you squeeze it, you're like, it smells just like Granddaddy. It's all that nostalgia coming back right when you squeeze the bud. And it's got a not so great structure, right?
That's crazy, because when you're talking, like when you said floral, so first thing that I was going to say, what I like to pair certain flowers with is a floral a rosin, you know? Because some people don't really care for floral, but if you know how to use it, it's really good, you know? Just based on what you're pairing with, you know?
Yeah, I love floral terps. I love that floral expression. I like smoking it. I think it's like that silky floral. There's something about it.
It's like rose water and you know, just something like just...
Yeah, we had a creme rosé Skittles. Tim and Kyle from Canada Organics. It was from their seeds, and we were growing it, and we had, all of us lost it. But dude, that creme rosé was like straight rose water, and they had a Skittles, and it was just everything that you could imagine about like candy and rose water, which is great. And I've been like searching for that ever since. I talk about it on my show. I've had some people send me seeds. I've even popped the seeds and just not found exactly what I'm looking for.
Right.
But yeah, there's something special about those unique, those outliers, those unicorns, you know, they're out there.
Yeah, no, definitely they're out there. You know, like Whitethorn Rose has a crazy floral, but it's funky and it's got like this, I don't want to call it zest, but it's like it's got this.
Yeah,
you know, that I don't know how to call it. You know, it's got that little something in there. You know, and like that's what we're looking for the next strain. You know, obviously that's the next level we want to come with.
I love Whitethorn. I love Whitethorn.
Definitely.
I love the rosin. The Whitethorn rosin is so good. I mean, it even makes the best rosin gummies I've ever had were made with Whitethorn rose.
Yeah.
Right. And the effect from it is so good too. Big shout out to Johnny. I talk about the strain on my show a lot.
Yeah.
But it's special.
I'm excited. Yeah. The family, they're doing a whole lineup with them. Whitethorn Rose crosses with over there at the Casa Flor family. Yeah. It's really cool. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's some special stuff. So I'm actually giving Johnny my ZDP. He's the only cultivator outside of my circle that's getting the ZDP. Nice. And we're going to breed it together. I feel like it has a similar effect where it has that feel-good effect.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's just something special about stuff like that, especially like on the floral side. It's just as exciting as the gassy and also the fucking purple candy gas. I still like purple candy gas. Don't get me wrong. Right. But there's so much of it. Right? Yeah, everything's really gone that way.
So much candy gas out there. Yeah. Cherry gas, candy gas.
Yeah, it's all that candy with gas, and like those are really strong too for the most part. They're like really strong and sedative.
Yeah, no, oh my god, man, I smoked a joint yesterday. Yeah, I think it was the Perm RS11. I was out.
What's funny, that RS11, I was talking to Dave because he's done breeding with it. I have my permanent midnight, which is pretty special, and all the phenos really have the permanent nose. He has that, I think it's candy paint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has a couple, and then some of them really lean towards that fucking marker.
Ooh. No, I love good marker crosses, man. I can't wait to see all the new marker crosses coming out.
First Class Genetics, they do some good marker crosses. That's where I got my cut of permanent marker, was from Ray, First Class Genetics. He's the secret nobody knows about, the guy who gets the genetics out there.
Now he don't.
So, yeah, he's a good friend too. But
awesome, that's dope.
At the highest level, the guys kind of work together. I feel like even the breeders, it's like I like collaborating with people. I like sharing stuff. I like sharing some stuff.
Not everything.
Not everything. I don't think genetics. I don't want to share every last little bit because a lot of times we go through a lot of cost to pheno hunt stuff. Right. Yeah, but I put everyone on game with my book. So anyone who wants to learn how to breed, everything I do is like literally in my book. I don't hold back information. You want to know how I do reversals? All that stuff is in there. I think
education is key, man.
And sharing education with everybody, especially the guys who want to buy my book. A lot of people are home growers. It's like anybody can breed. Anybody can do selections. Maybe they can't do it on the scale of other people, but like, you know, and that's the future is genetics. I feel like that's what makes you separate from everybody else. That's what makes your brand stand out. You'll stand out a lot more if you have something unique and special.
Definitely. So, you know, you're not lying, dude. That's the way to go, you know, creating your own genetics, you know, coming with your own lineups, you know, being different, not just going to a distro and buying 10 different candies and calling it 10 different names.
Yeah, runts and LCGs all day long. And
this is runts back across the LCG with a little bit of candy gas.
Yeah, it's cayenne runts. I got you know, it's like I got the new color runts.
Shout out to the new runts line you got dropping, right? What's that one?
Dude, so we got chocolate runts, and that's a chocolate times runts. It's a LC. So basically, it's amazing though. But it's got like the pheno we selected. There's one that's hazy. It's got a runt structure, but it has a hazy nose. Ooh. We got the one in the middle. The number 2 is like just in the middle. It's very chocolatey. It's runtsy. And then we have one that leans towards that runtsy LCG fucking cherry, like the candy gas nose, right? Like the old school runts. Like it reminds me of the original runts that we smoked back in the day.
The real candy.
Yeah, the real candy. That's kind of what hyped up candy. It's like Gushers,
kind of like the Smarties candy.
Yeah,
back
Big
in the
Al's
day.
was doing the Gushers like back in the day. Like that was maybe 6 years ago. Or 7
man,
years
I loved me a good batch of the connected Gushers though when it was over there on Fur Ridge. Oh,
dude, so good.
Good.
Gushers is amazing. Yeah, I really enjoy Gushers.
I spent a few minutes and it's still lit.
Yeah, dude, that's the best part of it. Like we can sit here and talk, and I think that's the way we consume joints now is so different from maybe 15, 20 years ago, where we do roll them in a way where I used to roll big joints too, but it's like these ones, we can actually just let it sit. We can talk. We can talk for 5 minutes, 7 minutes before we puff. You don't want to smoke these too fast either. The second you start putting rosin and stuff, it's like taking dabs and smoking joints at the same time.
Literally. It's like sedative. It's like, you're like.
Yeah, because I do dabs and they wake me up a lot of times. So I'll do a dab in the morning and I'm awake. It doesn't make me tired. Whereas if I smoke a whole joint in the morning, but I don't smoke hash holes.
Oh, hash holes will put me out. Literally, I can't smoke donuts in the morning.
No,
I can't.
Not unless I'm in Vegas.
Unless I'm on vacation, I'm smoking donuts from sun up to sundown. But if I have to work and I have business to do, I have to just smoke a flower roll or something, you know.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even flower, it's like I get so many effects from so many different things.
Right.
You know, and I think hazes are making a comeback. Green is making a comeback.
Oh, I love me a good haze.
Crippy, that's going to be out there. It's already out there.
What's your favorite haze right now?
So I'm pheno hunting some blueberry haze times King Louis XIII from Dave Mesfer that passed away. We got some of that going on, and I'm super excited about it. But I mean, I like Apollo haze. I'm pheno hunting Apollo haze too. I found some old Brother Grimm seeds, and I mean, I like Super Silver.
Definitely,
you can't go wrong with some Super Silver.
Have you ever had the Nanas haze over there at Cadre Verde?
No.
Oh, bro, it's Sunset Sherbet with their with the Super Silver haze, I believe.
Wow,
bro, it's fire, bro. Don't quote me on Super Silver haze. I know it's a haze though.
It's a sherbet haze cross.
But it's a sherbet haze cross, and bro, I promise you, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that Super Silver Amnesia. Like that's super nostalgic for me. It reminds me of Europe from fucking 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I like diversity too, and I like sativas, like these narrow leaf varieties, like African ones. And I feel like it's funny because you can have these 3 African strains, and people think of Durban, Malawi, and then Red Congo, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all from Africa, but they all have very different effects. And like the Durban just kind of kicks your ass. Like it'll put you in the dirt real quick.
Right.
Super, super strong. And then you go over to the Malawi, and the Malawi is freaking amazing too, but it's almost psychedelic. Like
that shit sounds like it would give me freaking anxiety.
Yeah, that Malawi is anxiety weed, but it's so super strong. It's like psychedelic, strong weed. I think it's THCV. There's definitely THCV in there.
Oh, okay.
And then you got the Red Congo. And the Red Congo
that gets you so high, you're like a kid again.
The Red Congo gets me high, but it makes me giggly laughing. Whereas the other ones are more on like the paranoia or like just out. Dude, that Red Congo special.
You know what? When you were saying that, it sparked my interest in what I'm trying to like push my direction of like the brand is being able to like focus on like healing elements and stuff like you said, like with certain weed, it makes you giggly and laugh, you know, because some people are battling depression and anxiety. So when we were able to find strains like that, that's going to make them happy and give them uplifting, you know, energy. And that's the type of stuff that we want to be able to be descriptive about, you know, when we package our stuff. So then people, when they're out there shopping, because it's not just something we do as to have fun with, this is medication. At the end of the day, we're medicating, you know? And so that's one thing that I'm working on right now for us as like, because you, like you said, what you do, you know, with the genetics, we're creating the new wave, creating more, you know, and being able to say cross, you know, that strain with a strain that's gonna make a person hungry, give them like, oh, I'm hungry.
It's needed. There's people with cancer that are on chemotherapy treatments, and it's like literally they need something that can help their nausea and make them eat. You know, but other people are also, you know, they're very thin and they need to put on weight, and they don't need to smoke some hazes they won't get the experience that they're looking for. They need to smoke something that's going to make them hungry.
Literally, because there's some weed don't make me hungry. Like I'll be hungry as a mug, and then I'll smoke, and then I'm not hungry no more.
Totally.
Like, and I'm like, damn, I should have ate before I smoked. but that goes for it, you know, because sometimes it literally kills that hunger.
Right. Yeah, the GDP, stuff like that make me super hungry. I get the munchies from that. There's munchy weed, and then there's stuff that's not munchy weed.
Definitely.
So, and then also the way I consume it, like depending on how high I get with certain things, it's like if I smoke first thing in the morning, then I'm more hungry sometimes. It just depends. Like if I do a dab, it doesn't usually make me hungry.
Right.
So like, and I like Skittles dabs. I've been smoking on the pen. With that deep dive into rosin, I've been like trying different pens and cartridges with my buddies. Okay. And it's like literally you can have one cartridge to the next and you get a different experience. You get a different pull, different temperature. It could taste different. And so it's like all these things, if you're a breeder and you want to be not fully vertically integrated, but like if you want to have stuff in your brand where you're working with product SKUs, I'm a genetics guy, so I want to know what the experience is in these different things. Eventually we're going to breed specifically for carts as opposed to rosin. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we'll do rosin carts, but how is it experienced in a pen?
Right.
You know, and so I get excited about those deep dives. And so I'm like, well, I got to try all these pens. I got to try these different strains with the same pen to see which one tastes the best.
Right, because not every pen is going to give that same reflection of the terp.
No, and I like the O2 vape. The O2 vape is actually Cannabis Brothers use those.
Those are the little square ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, they're the round thin ones.
Oh, okay.
Right with the glass top.
Oh, I know.
And they're maybe not the sexiest. Maybe some of these others you get more hardware.
They're
but
cool.
Like, yeah, and I like the way they hit. I like the temperature of them.
Okay.
You know, we tested a bunch of stuff. I mean, some of the old school brands are really good still too. But I learned something new. You don't want cotton in your cartridge. Like a lot of them have the ceramic, and then sometimes under the ceramic they put cotton.
Cotton, yeah.
You got to be careful because that'll give you cancer, right? And so like we're smoking to prevent. I mean, a lot of us smoke, and they're like, well, we're not going to get lung cancer from smoking like you would cigarettes, and so that's like one of the pluses. But if you're smoking cotton or smoking a shitty cartridge from China that's not made properly.
Right. Or a bootleg.
Or a bootleg that has fucking problems with it where it's got pesticides or who knows what in it.
Who knows? Yeah, no, definitely.
So you got to really be careful on what you're putting in your body. You know, it's like I try to eat mostly organic. I don't eat all organic, but I try to.
Right.
And then same thing with smoking. I mean, I don't necessarily smoke all organic weed. It's Syngenic mostly. And then even substrate, I don't have 100% preference. I like certain things for certain things. I like rock wool rock wool is amazing for certain environments. Living soil is amazing for other environments. Cocoa is great all around.
All
They're
strains,
all good.
you know, definitely different homes for different strains.
Just like lights too. Same thing with lights. HPS lights are great. Anybody who says HPS lights aren't good, I mean, they're not as cost effective, right? And they cost more to run. But as far as what you get out of it, you get a great product.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, this thing's still burning, still tasting great.
She's doing her thing.
Well, and it's not like this next joint. When we smoke this next joint, we're not gonna be able to drive for a couple hours.
Yeah, that one's gonna be.
The crippy is just.
That crippy was very hard to roll up. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, Jesus Christ, this thing is sticky.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid too because that's got at least a gram of Piatella of Skittles.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Skittles might help it out.
I think it might get that's sativa right there, you guys.
Yeah, and so when I was in Spain, I was hanging out with Eric from Flow Gardens, and he had some hemp for me. This high CBD, very low THC, very terpy. He got 3rd place at Cannabis for CBD,
nice.
And so I got this funny idea that I was going to take CBD flower and smoke it with rosin, like THC rosin. You know, the funny thing is I could smoke whole joints of rosin, like a half gram or a gram of rosin with a big old CBD joint, and I could smoke those to my head and smoke them all the way down. Just sit there and smoke them for 45 minutes or whatever. And it didn't get me over the top high with some of the things that, like, if I would have smoked a real traditional hash hole, it would have got me way too high, way too quickly. So the CBD kind of balances it out, and I was still super lit. You know what I mean? Like, CBD doesn't completely cancel out the THC. It just doesn't. It's not like that.
I feel like it's like a 50-50 dang there. It's like fighting, like, I want to get you high, but I'm trying to heal you.
Yeah. Well, so Eric and I, we've been talking. I'm going to start breeding 1-to-1s specifically for that purpose because I really kind of like that effect too. And I'm curious as to the rosin that's CBD rosin that has the CBD and THC.
Yeah, the homie, he does some CBD rosin. The Hawaiian candy. Yeah. Oh, it's fire.
It's funny with hash holes, they really taste good all the way down. I mean, I like flour that tastes good all the way to the bottom, but like that, it hasn't lost a bit of flavor. It's still
still tastes really good, you know. And that's one thing I was going to tell you about. Like, remember how we were talking about certain flowers and certain strains, you know, when you cross them, they give you certain healing ailments. That's the same thing with hash holes, you know. It's like, you know, the flower's main terpene is XYZ. Yep. And, you know, the main terpene of the rosin that you're going to pair with it is ABC, you know? So those two together create element OP, you know? And it creates a nice different blend, right? Yeah, and then what it does is it creates, like, you know, so we say the anxiety, you know, creates uplifting energy, all that. And it creates you wanting to eat, creates different, like, different type of like what is the word for it? I'm not too sure.
Like the synergistic effect, the entourage effect,
Yeah.
how it blends together and all works
Correct.
together in the body. Yeah, totally. And it's pretty amazing. We still have a subjective experience. So I feel like we can smoke the same thing and get a different experience because we have different body chemistries.
Mhm.
But that being said, I feel like some of these things you have a similar effect with a lot of them, and it's like, but it's hard for doctors especially to be like, yeah, you should try this or with this and this,
Right.
because from one person to the next, it might
not work
really
for
well. It
them.
might not work the same, and it's
Yeah.
like our cannabinoid systems are so uniquely different. Our whole body chemistry is different, and understanding how cannabinoids work from a plant that's so complex. It's not just this one terpene. We don't have a monoterp and one cannabinoid,
Right.
doing the job. It's this entourage effect of all of them working together to give us these specific effects. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's pretty exciting.
That's a lot of education right there. It's a good topic. I feel like there's a lot of research that needs to be developed on that for different, purposes of not just consuming to smoke
Yeah.
a hash oil, but what are the healing properties of that hash oil that creates like what we're gonna do at the talk over there for the Connect community
Oh yeah,
coming up.
dude, that's gonna be a good one. You're on the first panel. I'm on the second panel.
Yeah, it's gonna be
But
fire.
yeah, dude, it's funny because that's gonna be a really good event. I'm looking forward to that with Sergio and,
Yes.
and we're talking about terps and flavor. It's
Definitely
deep dives.
And then I believe he has a special guest coming. She's gonna be bringing through some
Dude, a
special
device.
machine, special device, and it's gonna show us the carcinogens and everything of the pool, and like if it like how harmful it is for our body.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because I'm curious to see what is it gonna be like for hash holes.
Right. Yeah, and I also think that's subjective to the hash hole because like they're not all made equal.
Well, no, they're
Yeah.
not, because you got to remember hash holes burn at a higher temperature.
Right.
Based on the rosin or fresh press or piatella.
Right.
That's why we urge people to take your time when smoking them, let them cool down so you can enjoy them.
Yeah, and it's all about the experience. I mean, some people want to rush to get real high, get as high as they can, and it's like no matter what, you're going to get high when you smoke a hash hole.
Mhm.
Right. So
Definitely.
it's like I like easing into them. I like taking smaller hits. I also like if I take too big a hit, I don't get the full flavor. And I do like when the high comes on gradually. If you want
Right.
to get really high, you just take a couple big hits and you're good.
Definitely. You take a good one. Oh man, I think I'll have you coughing.
Like a dab, like
Literally.
straight, like, and you get the effect, because
You do.
the THC is so high.
Sometimes I'd be like, oh, hold up.
Yeah. Seriously,
Let me
one
sit
got me
down
in
real
Vegas. I got hit in Vegas. I took a big, huge hit off of somebody's hash hole. Thought it was a joint, but I took a big hit because I was running around so much.
Yeah, you're like, hold on, let me hit this.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, I'm like, wow, I'm freaking done.
He's like, let me sit down real quick.
Literally, I'm like, I just got to do one thing and not try to do 20 things.
There you go. Yeah, no, it was a busy day that day though.
Yeah, and I had the torch. We were torching s'mores, and that's when I was super high. Is when I was like, I got to torch the s'mores. We had dab torch s'mores where we had giant marshmallows that we torched up and got them nice and brown, and then put
was
them with.
nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was, man. It was a whole vibe, dude. I had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure excited
I'm
about
high. I'm loaded right now.
next year in Vegas. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's too bad Cannabis is over. I'm going to Mary Jane in June. They
That's
need
gonna be
more
fun.
rollers in Mary Jane.
We'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there. I'm already working on everything.
Dude, you should come. So there's great cultivators out there. So there's great flower in Germany now. So I'm excited to check that out.
Well,
But
I would love to go on a tour with you. Let's figure something out. That'd be fun.
absolutely. And then, so I have two booths, one with Greenhouse where we're selling seeds, and then we're doing live podcasts from the Grove booth.
Okay.
Right. And so I'll be there doing live podcasts with other podcasters and also other people. So I'd love to do one for the German people.
Yeah.
Where we can show them your rolling skills and kind of
We'll
bring that
show
to
them
market.
how to roll too. We'll give them a little taste of the education.
Yeah, and they have their own some of these guys
They
have their
do.
own ways of rolling. They're really good
Definitely.
too.
They're backstrap
You know?
rollers all day long.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, they peel the flag.
Yeah, they got to peel it. You gotta, if you know, you know.
Yeah, so that's how I learned how to roll too. Was that the reverse roll with the sticky on the outside and
Yep.
peeling the flag off.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you don't
That's
burn the
culture
flag.
out there.
Anyone
right there.
can burn the flag. You got to tear it properly. That takes skill.
Hey, literally, I flex on when I can get it all the way to where it's like there's still gum line showing.
Yep.
That's how.
That's the thinnest paper possible from tip to end. You know, that's the magic when you can do that.
Yeah.
And I think I can roll them pretty tight around the wood crutches too. I've been trying to incorporate that in, but it's hard to teach people. Like it's one of those ones where like it's hard to teach people.
You have
anyway.
to have a feel for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough teaching people how to roll just in general. And then you throw something like, oh, yeah, we're going to roll this in reverse.
Yeah, we're going to roll this backwards.
Yeah, we're going to have a piece of paper just sticking off that you have to tear off. And but it's a lot of fun, man.
No, it is, especially when you rip it and it rips the whole thing off. You're like, well, shit.
Oh, yeah, you get a hole right in the middle of the joint. Like you're tearing it off and all of a sudden you got a hole about that long right through the middle.
You're like, oh, I didn't see that there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's frustrating. I've done that 2 times in a row when I'm high before, and it's like so frustrating. I just want to smoke another joint, but like.
Smoked 2, but I want to smoke 1 more.
Yeah, when I first started learning how to reverse roll, I was in Amsterdam in 2013 staying with my friend Abba. He had an apartment that I stayed in with him there.
Oh, nice.
And he felt bad for me when I was rolling joints because he was like, yeah, let me show you how to roll. You want to help me? Because my joints were pretty pathetic. I mean, they smoked, right?
But that was the culture. See, the rolling culture out there, it's dope to see because that was your journey of the doink. You know what I mean? Started in Amsterdam.
Paper crutches, right? We never had glass crutches or bamboo. We had paper crutches. And the rolling papers a lot of times would come with them. The coffee shops had rolling papers and crutches for free if you bought the flour.
Yeah.
You could get that. And so that's how I learned to roll with and basically it's real easy with the cardboard because the cardboard expands. Yeah. So it's not like with wood or with glass where it's stable. So you have to really roll it tight around there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it is a skill because not everybody possesses that.
Yeah, but it's un-American to not know how to roll a joint. Anthony Bourdain said that.
I feel that one.
Yeah.
It's the new standard, literally. Yeah, no, man. I feel like there's a lot of people, out there that are starting their journey to the doink and learning how to roll. And it's really cool to hear that, you learned how to roll backstrap out there in Amsterdam because that's like literally where that's culture. That's culture out there to them.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they smoke spliffs too with tobacco and hash, right? Yeah. And this Piatella will blow their minds.
Oh, my God.
The Skittles Piatella that I just made, it's special. So we're looking to enter that in some competitions. I think the hash category, traditional hashes, people's got to step up their entries. I did the Dabadoo last year. There was a couple good ones. There was some decent ones, but let's step this up. We're doing a Dabadoo again. I'm looking forward to people entering really awesome traditional hash with either really good old school flavors or some really good new stuff. Not all the same stuff as everybody else. And some of it, just because it doesn't wash doesn't mean you shouldn't wash it. That's the other thing. It might not be commercially viable to wash, but like Skittles is a great example of something that doesn't wash very well. You got to love it to wash it.
Definitely.
It's a thing of passion because you want the best of the best.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of things like that. Like
some people throw away, plants that are literally going to change the world's perspective on terps, and just because it doesn't wash right or it does, it's not.
It doesn't look right. And it's so sad that in some ways it's so sad because we live in this world that's based on looks, right? So social media,
perception,
I think I mean that it's exacerbated everything with social media to where you look at that and you're like, oh man, that's amazing. And that's a qualifier is the way it looks. When I was growing up, we had cat piss that was shreds in a bag. And so it was like, I didn't care about the way it looked. I wanted to feel amazing. And I wanted it to taste amazing.
You want that effect. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was the 90s. And so I think we're going back to that, but it's like, I see the easiest way to get back to that is by people like yourself and other people rolling joints and giving the people the experience in the form of a joint where they don't ever have to see the flower. If they trust the brand, they buy it, they love it, they're doing it for the experience. Right. And it really doesn't matter what that flower looks like or even what the rosin looks like. Did it make you feel good? Did it make you feel amazing? And did it taste amazing? And did it leave you with a great experience to where you want to do it again?
Right. No, that's it. And that's what we strive for when we make our rolls. We want people to be able to like, man, that was one of the best rolls I had.
Yeah.
I want that again.
Right. Well, and that's the experience that you can provide for people. And it's like, I try to do that with genetics and I love it when other people try to do that and they're on that level with other things. Right. And there are guys that Focus V is a great example. They want to bring it up to that next level for that experience. And we're whether you guys know it or not, we're creating experiences for the world. And that's really what my job is to create a better experience through genetics. Yours is a better experience through smoking, right?
Yep.
And but it all ties in together. And that's the beauty of this, is whether it's
Definitely
the guys that are creating the fucking extracts, it's the guys that are rolling, it's the genetics guys, the cultivators. Now there's so many people that there's all these touch points.
What's
right?
really it's like a motor, you know. It's like in order for this motor to work, you know, everybody has to do their job, and if you're not doing your job up to par, you know, the motor's not going to work the right way, you know.
And there are people that will. Yeah. Unfortunately, for some people, there are people that are willing to step up and do the job and do it to the best of their ability, and it's so competitive, right? People were getting by on mids 10 years ago, and that just doesn't happen anymore. If you don't grow the best, if you don't roll the best, if you don't have the best genetics, it's a really tough place to be.
Definitely.
So, and we're in California where it's even tougher because the bar is just so high.
It just keeps getting raised every day.
Yeah. And then you're like, I'm there, and they move the needle, right?
You're like, no, you're not there. You're right almost there.
That 2 pounds of light is now 4 pounds of light, and that 4 pounds of light will eventually be 4.5 pounds of fucking top shelf. You know, we got under canopy lights that are pushing over 3 pounds of quality flower. Like I never thought I'd really see that in my life, other than maybe through octagons and stuff. But like really with technology, they're yielding amazing flowers. Some of these guys growing, you know, and growing with whatever substrates they're growing in, with whatever nutrients they're growing in, they're really pushing the plant forward.
We're not literally. It's really cool to see the under canopy lighting and how to see that there really ain't no more smalls. I bet all the people's mad. They want the smalls.
It kind of went away from my game plan where I'm like, okay, we're going to take the keef, we're going to press that into rosin, then we're going to take the smalls and we're going to roll hash hole, right? So that sounds great on paper, but you start using under canopy lights, there's no more smalls.
There's no more smalls.
Literally, it's less than 5%, whereas it used to be up to 25%, sometimes more depending on the cultivar.
Yep.
And so that's down now at 5%. You've increased your yield. There's still the trim, and it's like, so what do you do with your trim? Do you sell it to somebody in metric? You sell it to somebody to process? Do you process it yourself and turn it into keef? Because now there's like CO2 machines. You can use these tumblers and then separate the keef. You can turn that keef into static hash. Static hash is making this huge comeback now. And it's like people are so excited.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of it.
So that's why I'm like, I'm fucking with the Piatella, because the fucking static hash is so good. I think this is even better than static hash, in my opinion. But I do love a good static. You know?
No, definitely, yeah. I mean, you know, like, that's one thing we were talking about. Remember mixing hash with flour and then creating a donut, or even just a nice, good infused roll. You know, because those do the trick, like you're saying, cost effective. You know, we're coming with the consumer grade only for you guys.
Yeah, cost effective consumer grade only.
Yeah, it's coming because everybody wants to be
consumer grade only instead of connoisseur grade only. I love it.
Yeah,
you got the consumer. That's actually really good.
So we can have the spin off of the cheap stuff for you guys. It's okay, but it's still going to be good product though, and that's one thing we're going to strive on, is finding still products that are cheap enough for us to give them to them at a cheaper price. And it might not be a hand rolled product. It might be a what do we say? It's like one of those knockbox rolls, but a different, but with the twist. You know, there's so many different ones out there. We're not trying to come with the conventional cone little pre-roll, funky little. We're not trying to come that way. We're always trying to come different. So it's always going to be a different experience regardless. So it's like, you know, that's what it is though. Like you're saying, the experience. People want to experience. Yeah,
and people want to be part of the experience, and some people can't afford it. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't get the experience, is how I feel. So it's like, how can we provide? I'm in the same boat as you are. It's like, how can we provide an experience that's cost effective for the consumer, but they still get a quality product to where they're happy?
Yep.
But not that we're not trying to take anything away from our top shelf, because we could never sell our top shelf for that price, right? And so now I'm looking at where, you know, I've been talking to Artemis Copac and the guys up in Lake County about doing pre-rolls. I'm talking to a couple different companies in Metric about doing pre-rolls, because I want to have something that's in shops where everyone can try my product, that they get a good experience.
Definitely. You sell something for $3, it'll go for $9, or, you know, like almost $10 barely. And that's what the average consumer wants to spend. Like I went and did these demos for my brand, and I asked these consumers, I was like, "Hey, what's your what price do you usually spend for a pre-roll?" "Oh, $8." Ooh.
Yeah, no,
and I'm over here like, mine's 30 with tax. Right. You know,
Yeah, and I mean, the funny thing is we probably both smoke $50 joints on they would be $50 retail in most of the shops. That's what we smoke on a daily basis. We can't afford to in most cases, we can't afford to give that to it's not that we can't afford it, it's the most consumers don't want that.
Yeah.
Right? They're okay with they want something at a cheaper price point that's similar quality. They're okay with the stuff I feel like we get the special, the best of the best.
Yeah,
and the next down, people are okay with the next down. And it's still really amazing. That's the thing is like, it's still really, really good genetics, really good rosin, all this stuff. Right. But it's not always that top.
Nah, definitely, you know, and that's where like, you know, not everybody wants to, like you said, not everybody wants to spend $50 with tax. You know, it's like $70,
right?
Almost, you know, with California taxes. So that's why we came with the 1 gram with the 0.2 at like $30 with tax.
Yeah,
because you still get the same experience. It's not the jumbo roll, but it's still a roll that will last about a good 20 minutes. Though,
and you can still get the top flower. You can still get the top rosin.
Top flower, top rosin. You know, you still get that experience, but at a better rate.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. You know, like people are spending $70, but you have to understand the average consumer is only making about $50,000, not even $50,000 a year, and they're spending their last $40-$50 for the week.
And they need it to go far. Right?
Yeah.
They need it to go far. And so the $100 ounces are really popular.
Definitely.
You know, we got Dave
Smalls
from Preferred Gardens who's leading the way with all that stuff.
Oh,
you know,
man. I'm trying to get in line. I need to get some rolls. I want to get some material with them. You know, they have great roll material. Like their product
their
is
price
amazing.
point is good, and you get a good experience with their stuff. We had them on our show, and we used to do the blind tastings on the show in the beginning, and there's definitely one. We had Smalls that it was, I think, the $10 eighth. And that was fucking mind blowing how good it was for the quality, for the price.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Top
definitely.
quality for the price. And there's going to be people like that out there. And then there's still people that do want to spend the big numbers. But this day and age, there's less.
Yeah.
I feel like there's less and less of the people that want to spend $100 on an eighth. You know, but there's a little market for that. There's guys that buy $1,000 ounces still. $1,800 ounces.
Literally every day.
I still have some of my genetics. I'd love to have some of those elite ones selling for $500 an ounce in shops very
right.
elite.
$1,000 sounds nice to me.
It does. And I mean, I think, but that's something, but I still want to have something for everybody as well, you know? Yeah, the market's really interesting. I mean, I think as it evolves, I think a lot of people are going to go for convenience and they want stuff that's in a cart. They want stuff that's in a joint.
And that's my next product. I'm like thinking of making carts, you know, carts because people love things on the go.
Yeah.
Convenience is key to accessibility, being able to do as you please when you're on the go. Right. Just like, you know, when you're at a Dodgers game or you're at a basketball game and you're at the hockey game or you're at your kid's freaking softball game and you want to hit the pen real quick. You hit the pen and it's like nothing, you know, it's like a vape to people. Yeah. So that's definitely, I feel like, is one of the bigger markets right now, that along with the pre-rolls. And then, you know, obviously flower is always going to be one of the biggest markets, you know.
Well, it's so funny because that space is so competitive with the pens. And there's guys that are putting $10 rosin, that's outdoor rosin, in against guys that are putting, you know, really expensive rosin in. So like, where do you fit in? What's better? Is outdoor rosin better than indoor? Or is indoor? I think,
oh man, it's subjective, bro, because you know, I love some good full term outdoor rosin, bro. I mean, it's you cannot replicate the sun.
No. And some of these guys have some interesting dip techniques where they dip it in different containers to actually clean it off before they freaking go in the ice.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, it's like, it's pretty amazing. The freeze drying techniques and some of these things these guys are doing to try to create a cleaner, a better product from an outdoor material.
Right.
You know, because I work with some guys that just, dude, like freaking kill it with their indoor. It's like, even with the Skittles, you know, it's like next level Z, dude. Like, and then the Z rosin from the Z flower.
Oh, bro,
next
I love
level,
strain.
Dude. Yep.
Putting strain with strain. Oh, it's so good, especially Skittles. And there's a bunch of good washers now people got. I mean, your dirty Skittles is fire, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'd call it golden Skittles. That stuff is so heat. It just reminds me of like a great summertime Skittles. Like just.
Yeah, and that's like, it almost tastes like so you're smoking rosin with it because it's so terpy, but it has this mouth coat.
It is.
It's extremely special.
It kind of reminds me of almost like a floral Z, but like it's just that mouth coat.
Oh, I can't wait till you try the ZDP, dude. Like that's the one because like you like that dirty Skittles, which is not the strain Dirty Skittles by Lempire, but it's the dirt soil grown Skittles by my boys. They crush it. next level,
Definitely.
dude. And fucking
Damn, ZDP does sound good right about now.
dude, it's the one.
It's that time.
We're gonna have to dive in. So this is the one that Marco rolled earlier. We're gonna go. This is the Crippy with the Piatella. You know, he's one of the best joint rollers I know. Totally blown away by the way these things burn, the way they taste, and the overall experience. These are all about experiences.
Jesus, you literally just barely lit that thing and it combusted right away.
Yeah.
Like, check out
Dude.
the oil ring's already right there, just
Literally.
excreting. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to blow on it a little bit before I even take the first rip to get it
Definitely, just
bit.
to see how that cherry's blowing.
See how that ash is burning, how the cherry's going. I love it when you see it go from like the dark color to white ash.
Yes, that's when you know it's
when
combusting.
Yeah, totally.
Because you see how there's a gap from the oil ring to the actual end of the paper where it meets the ember.
Yeah.
You see that gap. That's when you know it's performing really nice. Oh yeah.
Wow. So it's got this unique flavor too. Like you can already taste the Z in it with the Crippy. We call this the Zippy.
The Zippy.
Dude, it's about to hit across America with different fucking states. Definitely in LA at some of the dispensaries down there. And
Oh, nice. Yeah.
the Zippy is going to make its rounds in both flour and rosin.
Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Yeah. I remember.
Hushel.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard of Hushel? Hushel is they're a brand out of
Yeah. It's like a clothing brand. They have backpacks.
Hushelmania. Yeah, he does his stuff out of he's mostly out of LA, but like we're
Okay.
doing some collabs and the Zippy's one of them, and it's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I remember you were talking about the Cannabis brothers earlier. You know, definitely going to be getting some collabs with them going. Get some good OGs going. You know, that's one thing Northern California needs as well. You know, we have a couple stores out in LA. You know, only 2, but you know, we got Cookies Melrose and we got We Roll Up, Culver City.
Well, if you're gonna have 2, you got 2 good ones right there.
No, they're amazing. You know, so I mean, it's not about how many stores you're in; it's about which ones. You know, it's all about the quality of them. So, and I'm really excited to be able to bring some OGs up here because we don't really have too many. You know.
No, I'm the only one with OG up here these days.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so like, and that's what I want to give the market. I want to be able to give them at least like 3 strains of OG.
Right.
You know, right now, rolls 1 flower, 1 hash hole.
You
know,
it pairs so well with all the different rosins out there. It doesn't matter whether it's you can go GMO
burning.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go papaya with it. You can go grape gas with it.
GMO
Skittles.
sounds good. Some hash burger or
Oh
something.
yeah, exactly.
Oh
I love that Donny burger too in the form of rosin. I'm not a big flour fan, as I've said before on my show, but I really love it. Dude, it's so good in rosin, like even straight dabs, but like it's one of those ones you can blend it. You can put that with some OG and it would taste amazing.
Man, this right here tastes amazing, bro.
Yeah, so that's uniquely different too. I love that because it's got the gas underneath, but it's got something else too. So
it's very smooth though. It's like it's a mouth coat for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hold on.
When it's got the Skittles Piatella right down the middle, you put a big old.
It's like creamy Z.
Mm-hmm.
But with earthiness on the back end when you like blow it out. It's like right here a little bit. It's like
there's a little bit of pine and the earth
pine.
is definitely pronounced. Yeah, I like it. Roadkill Kush.
Roadkill Kush.
It's like some roadkill Kush. You don't see roadkill anymore. Those guys are like, I got the roadkill. I made
the way
roadkill.
it looked like some roadkill. It was crazy.
Dude, it's got the crazy and it just dumps too. It's got that texture.
I can only
and
imagine how it dumps because the thing looked like it was just covered in trikes.
Yeah, it's really special. I mean, even just in the bottom of the bags,
mm-hmm.
like when you're fucking with it, the bottom of the bags have trichomes. You know, it's like old school in the turkey bag where you could scrape it with a
oh yeah, literally.
Like
it
literally
looks like white
razor blade. You could scrape the trikes. I don't know how safe that is smoking microplastics, but you know,
it looks the same. It's all right.
You're breaking it down pretty good. So I mean, I'm still here.
Literally though, no, definitely, you know, and I love weed like that. It just makes it a little bit harder to roll, but depending on, you know, the humidity of the weed and how it's actually cured, you know, because sometimes you have to let certain weed cure a little longer, you know, so the trikes are not, I wouldn't say like dried out, but that they're more.
Well, they're dehydrated a little bit.
Yeah, they're more. it basically would be more dehydrated, but it's more of a stable type of stickiness compared to where if you literally press it down one time and it's stuck just like that.
Yeah, I mean the viscosity is totally different. You can have that sticky and tacky versus like stuff that just fucking wants to liquefy.
Yeah,
and like so sometimes Skittles rosin wants to liquefy too. It's rare that you see it more stable because it's got so many terps for one thing, so it's all oily.
No, definitely that thing right there is like the oil ring is bursting and.
I'm excited to see if we got a donut or a nipple.
Oh, you got a donut in there, dog. You got a donut.
Reveal, bro.
That's the donut going to be in there, bro. We'll give it like 2 more rounds of us going around. That thing's probably going to start tasting like straight Z.
It's so strong too, dude. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's strong, dude. Like it's good strong, but it's fucking strong.
This thing is smoking. Look how you see how high it is from the paper to where the oil ring is.
Yeah,
that's when you know the temperature of the core heat temperature is perfect, optimal temps. It's going crazy.
That crippy it's strong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's burning. It's performing really nice.
Yeah, good flower. It's so funny because even with cultivation, it's from one genetic. You can have it grown by one guy to the next, and the guy could cure it right or wrong, and you could have a really good or a really bad product.
Yeah, the cure is critical, bro.
Yeah, and it's funny because some, like you were saying, but some stuff you can smoke it right after you harvest. Like Skittles, quick faster you smoke it, almost the better. Like you can get a little bit of a cure and it's great still. But like and sometimes it might get a little smoother even if you go like 2 weeks after. But like you want the freshest, loudest terps. That's my favorite with Skittles.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these other varieties, you want to cure them a good 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and they're optimal.
Definitely, yeah. I would say that too. Yeah, there's certain strains that like you wouldn't want to smoke it right away, but like with Z, definitely that's one you could just
right away. It's the best.
Yeah.
That stuff in Vegas was
grown,
fresh.
Know?
Yeah, when I was in Vegas with that dirty
that stuff was amazing.
Yeah, and it's just mouth coating. 53 days.
53. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean that's quick turnaround. Especially when sour is just so much longer. I love good sour, though. I think that's making a comeback.
Nah, it is. Definitely. People want the real sour, though.
There's so much mediocre. Like we've seen, even a lot of my friends have sour that's not like the real sour. If it is the real sour cut, they're not making express real sour. Dave from Budgelera, shout out. He's got the real sour. I brought some real sour in Vegas. I'm going to get some more real sour from him shortly. It's special, and it's one of those ones. The effect from sour is what I like about it the most. Even though I love the flavor and everything else, that effect it's morning weed, it's afternoon weed, it's evening weed, it's weekend weed. It's one of those ones where I smoke it, especially the way he grows it,
right?
And I can literally smoke it any time of the day, and I don't feel like I get memory loss from it. Like some strains, I have to think about stuff a lot.
I be forgetting some shit when I smoke. That's why I have to stop smoking sometimes. It just gets me too loaded.
Yeah, it's the balance, and it's like certain genetics work better for me for that kind of stuff, especially when I'm doing podcasts all the time. I also do mushroom coffee in the morning, so I go with
that stuff right there gets your mind right.
Dude, it does. And for memory recall especially, and basically being able to recall that faster, right? So I'm able to, I don't have to think about it too much. I can actually just speak without trying to think.
Yep.
And so mushrooms have really helped me.
What brand is that?
Rise. I do Ryze. Not a shout, a shout out, but not an advertisement. But Rise Coffee is pretty amazing.
Nice. I'm gonna
My
check it
friends
out.
turned me on to it a little while back, and yeah, I love the mushroom blend that they have in there. And I've tried it and then stopped and didn't feel quite the same. And I went back on, and I feel really good. You felt
the real effects of it.
Oh yeah, and I feel I do it in the morning, and instead of mixing it with hot water, I do mushrooms with protein powder. So I do grass fed protein powder.
Okay.
Transparent Labs. I do that and blend that up, and that's been the focus. So yeah, pretty much it's been a year. I lost 50 pounds over the last year, and I lost it really slowly. Right?
Nice.
A lot of people, they lose it really fast within 2 or 3 months. I mean, I've lost a bunch of weight in like literally a month before, but when I did it this time, I lost it really gradually, 5 to 8 pounds. You can watch my old podcast. If you literally watch from last year at this time to now, it's amazing.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. You have from when I seen you last year over there in I think it was Germany.
Yeah,
you were sitting down with the other gentleman.
Spain, or
I think it was Spain.
Yeah,
I think it was because it was on the street right there. You were chilling. I was like, "Oh, what's up, James? How are you doing?"
Yeah,
you're chilling with your friend, and and you're a little bit bigger.
Oh, it's bigger. And I didn't lose muscle was the one thing I really didn't want to lose muscle. For the most part, I've maintained most of my muscle mass.
Nice.
I lost a couple pounds, but out of 50, that's normal. Some people lose like half of their muscle mass or whatever, equal amount of muscle and fat. Right. And I wasn't about to do that. Like that, your muscle is what keeps your metabolism going. I still box. I still do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, muscle memory. It doesn't really lose its form.
Right, and all it takes is a lot of protein and working out.
Definitely a lot of working out, a lot of putting in them hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a guy that likes to get on the fucking treadmill either. You know what I mean? Like even high, like I smoke weed in the morning, I'll do a dab. Like that'll get me there and I have to listen to music. But like 30 minutes can feel like an hour sometimes. But if I go do jujitsu or I go box, dude, it's like it's a totally different experience.
No, definitely. I feel like it's way more hands-on, more, you're really in there.
Yeah, and the beauty of that stuff is, especially with cannabis, like one thing I like is like a small dab before I go do cardio. If I'm going to do cardio, or whether it's jiu-jitsu, boxing, whatever, I'll do some, if I'm going to hit pads even, it's like I basically will take a hit and then I don't even remember that I took a hit and I'm hyper-focused on it. And it's like I'm not thinking about time. I'm not thinking about anything but what I'm doing right there in the moment. Nice. And I feel like we all need to find some form of meditation to get us into the present, to get us into the moment. I mean, it's so important.
Yeah. No, that's real.
So yeah, and cannabis can bring you in the moment real quick too. Like big dabs will bring you right in the moment. Same thing,
that shit'll smack you right dab in the face.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has one of those experiences.
No, we do. I feel like as humans, we all do have that,
Yeah. So talk about one of the first times you got high on extract.
Damn, I think it must have been like when there was really no temp readers. It was fucking titanium nail. Fuck.
Old school titanium.
It was terrible. It was just like hot ass.
they had the bells and that stuff.
The cap, the metal cap on top with the titanium nail with the bong.
For sure.
Yeah, terrible, man. I'm talking like.
This was like the 2010s when they had those. Or even
it was like it was like around that time. It was crazy because like how like it would just like the snot and it would just be because it was like 900, 800. Like you don't even know what you're taking.
It was red hot. We would take red hot dabs, and there was guys. This is even in the early days of Instagram. I remember this dude who used to make torches, and somebody will know his name in the chat, but he used to make torches and he used to take these 1 gram or 2 gram snakes and put them on the titanium nails right down in there. And it's like the only way you could really smoke those that much is if you're burning it hot like that, because that shit like if you have any one of these new modern rigs with the oil, like basically with the bangers or the terp slurps, it's like 2 grams in a terp slurp, bro. Like you're going to have to heat it up multiple times.
Definitely, dude. For sure. Check it out. See if there's a hole.
Okay, this is the great reveal.
Is it pink or is it blue? Let's see. Is it pink or is it blue?
Oh, we do have a little hole here.
Yeah. It's at the beginning.
It's at the very beginning. This is a monster piece.
It's a fat ass hole in there, so it's probably way bigger in there. That's dope. Yeah, I knew it was gonna, because I could tell the texture of it. It would make a nice little hole. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got that nice toffee texture. It's really pliable. You can make snakes and shapes with it.
Yeah.
Some of the rosin, like me learning how to roll hash holes, I've gotten a lot better. But even still, it's like using it where you don't have a snake, where the rosin isn't pliable, where you have to scoop it out and drop like beads in there to get the hole. Yeah. Like you can do it. It's been a struggle.
Consuming.
Yeah, it's time consuming, and to get it really, because you want to get it straight where you roll it. If you're rolling the actual flour over it, you want it to be centered, and that's not always easy.
No, not always. I mean, just based on that like, cause some, like we were talking about, some flour is more fluffy and some is more dense. So depending on how it is, that's why we have the donut press for people that are like beginner novice rollers.
Yeah.
It's just easier, to get the weed into a form.
Are you selling those?
Yeah, we sell them. We're creating, we're going to be creating packaging. We're coming with the new packaging, because we've just been like, like selling them like the press and the tamper together. And then
I love it. You guys, those are, you guys make those here?
Yeah, we're US made. I go through Third Dab Dimensions.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been doing it for
no tariffs, guys. No tariffs.
Tap in, custom designs, your own logo. Yeah, it's all good. You go have your own product if you would like. come with your own tampers. I'll line you up. We'll get you some James Loud presses and everything.
Yeah, you know, I would love to discuss putting together a little kit for people on our website that we collab on. We put. I'm all about collaboration these days. So like, if we do stuff, you're the roller guy. So it's like for me, I feel like it's not as authentic. If I start putting out, all these rolling tools, it's kind of cool. But if I can collaborate with somebody and we can do it together, it's that much more fun and it's that much more authentic. And authenticity sells these days, right?
That's better. Like people they respect that more and they understand it more.
Yeah, and they can appreciate it. And the collaboration model really is the future with everything that we're doing, because now we don't all have to be experts at everything to a degree. I mean, dude, this is a beautiful hole. There's a nice fat hole. So we all don't have to be experts. Like I can do what I'm good at. You can do what you're good at, you know, and we can even work under the same umbrella potentially. Like that's the beauty of these guys collaborating.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's our brand is based on a lot of collaboration, you know, with a whole bunch of different cultivators and hash makers throughout California. And that's what's so cool is having these relationships, you know, with all these amazing brands. And it's really cool. So definitely always down for a collab, you know?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Well, yeah, and we're going to be working in multiple states and multiple countries. So, like, the potential is just so big for collaborating with people these days. You know, it's like we're working on Australia, Germany, and Thailand are the next 3 places we're trying to go.
That's fire. Definitely. And Germany is big. Thailand's big.
It's all big. And my friends are already there. My friends are helping out. And it's like, it's good having friends in high places. It's good having friends that are in the industry in other states. And it's like bringing their brands here and bringing my brand over there. It's like, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, you know. Collaboration, you know, is really beautiful. It's all about, you know, just taking your time and making it happen, you know, putting in that effort, putting in those hours.
Yeah, and everyone holding their end of the bargain. I feel like working with good people that complement your brand, that are willing to put in the hours as much as you do.
Yeah,
like
no, definitely. The passion has to be there, you know.
Passion and the hustle, because you could love it all you want, but if you're not going to fucking get up and grind, it's like these are the days where we grind, and I think a lot of people are missing some of the stuff in the sense like these aren't the times to relax, right? We're in an unstable market. Our economy isn't doing good. Today is the day to grind, right? Tomorrow morning, if you didn't grind today, you better get up and grind. Like,
definitely.
You may not have a job if you don't, for one thing, but also if you do, there's nothing that's going to stop you. You know, it's like, and you may have to grind for 2 years, you may have to grind for 5 years, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, and this is a great space to be in.
Definitely, you know? It is. It's amazing because, you know, I got in the industry. I've been in the industry for a few years, you know, like when I was mainly like a construction worker for a while. Yeah. And it's just like, it's a lot of work, you know, doing construction, building custom homes and stuff. And I'm just like, you know, I love weed. I'd rather be around weed, you know, and I'd rather be around the plant or figure out how I can do it, you know. And I could still remember the conversation is like, I wanted to be in the industry. How am I going to get in there? Right. Well, at first I didn't know. Like I wanted to try grow. I tried growing. Wasn't too good at it because the flowering process part is not easy. It's a lot of time and a lot of effort. Right. You know, that's all it is, and a lot of knowledge you got to educate yourself on. So I was like, okay, I'm not too good at this. So let me figure something else out that's gonna be easier. And then I met the homie who went to go smoke, and he had a Fidel's hash hole. And he had it all tied up from he's from Sacramento. All tied up
they're not around anymore.
No, yeah, he's around.
Oh, really?
He's back.
Well, he's back, dude. That's amazing. We need to get him on the show. I got some fucking stories about some all tied up fucking adventures, bro. Like that was like, if you got contacts, I would love to get him on the show. All tied up. I got some history with his brand. I don't know him personally, but he's kind of the guy that fucking set all this off, dude, to where we're at these days with hash holes.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. And he's like one of the biggest inspirations for me, along with like, so when he had it, I'm like, oh man, I want to smoke one of those. I've been wanting to smoke one of those for a long time. And then I was like, boom, that's it. I figured it out. There's not enough rollers. There's not enough people curating, making amazing shit like this.
There still's not.
I know.
There still's not. But yeah, you're 100% right.
Boom.
That's like, and being in this space, you need to be a solution to a problem. It doesn't matter what you do. Just be a solution to a much bigger problem, and you're going to be successful. You know, I think if you're a solutions-based business, you're a lot better than just being a hype business that's trying to do what everybody else is doing.
Right.
So, and what sets you apart, you know? And it's like, you're in the perfect place at the perfect time, because I feel like with this unstable market where it's going into rec, we have this product that's going to be in high demand no matter what on all these levels. We can always have machines to do the pre-rolls, but the high-end stuff is still going to have to be done by hand no matter what.
Definitely, you know, and that's what's so cool, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm really excited for the future for cannabis, you know, and we literally, I won't say that me, myself, but a lot of the big rollers out there, you know, that are doing it, and myself, we created a whole rollers economy, you know, within the industry. It's like a whole nother subculture in the industry now, just for hash holes and doinks and flower rolls and just handcrafted products that are, you know, something that people like are very proud of. You know, it's like art.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. You know, I mean, it's exciting because, like, you know, I can't wait to see different small brands turn into big brands for the California rec market, and then therefore wherever else, you know, because, you know, pretty soon it's gonna the laws are gonna be changing, you know, and everything's gonna be changing, and if you're not in the industry, you're out of the industry. And it's
there's
crazy.
a certain point where you're not going to be getting back into the industry if you're not in it now. And the people now, and the other thing I believe 100%, I wholeheartedly believe that if you make it through these times, you are going to be very successful. If you're in this space, you just have to suck it up, and it's going to suck for a while.
And as a brand that's growing right now, because we're a small brand, like it's just me. I don't have no investors. I don't have really nothing.
It's the best way.
But it's hard, but you know, it's gradually getting there. You know, we're getting bigger now.
Yeah.
We've literally locked in big accounts for you know, different cannabis dispensaries, and so now we're in over like 30 plus stores. We started out with like 5, and now we're like 30, and I'm really excited. So it's just gonna keep growing, you know. And then as a small brand, I just tell people, keep working hard, you know, keep collaborating. Don't let your head get bigger than your body, you know, just stay humble and keep working. Yeah,
persistence pays off, you know, and getting up every day and working. And I feel like even when you want to give up, the tough days are the most important to get up and go grind. You know,
Definitely.
It's like you don't stay home. You don't stay home in bed, and I can't do it anyway because it's like I work 7 days a week. There's no like hanging out, no getting depressed. Like it doesn't matter. Like even the days where I do have, I have days where I'm depressed, but I get up.
No,
and
we're human, bro, and that's big to just say. You know, like we're human, bro. Anxiety and depression, and you know, our own self-guilt of not feeling like we meet expectations of society's measures.
Right.
And it's hard, you know, because we're human, you know, and everybody wants us to perform at exceptional levels on a day-to-day basis, every day, literally.
Yeah.
But some days aren't like that, you know. So it's big for us as men, you know. There isn't a lot of space for us to talk about our emotions.
Right.
So definitely, you guys, make sure you tell you guys out there, make sure you guys talk about that, you know, with someone that you love, man, because it's important, you know. Men's health is very important.
Yeah, for sure. Especially these days, I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in the news, in the media, in social media, and none of these things are really reality. Like we live a reality outside of each one of these things.
Right.
And so, you know, these people,
it's all an illusion.
It's all these things are an illusion, and all these things are just part of a much bigger thing, you know. And it's like, you know, it's so funny because if you read too much into the news and you get all scared and freaked out and stuff, you can get anxiety.
Lit on fire when I hit it.
That's amazing.
That motherfucker combusted into a big ass flame.
Dude, that's what's up though.
That's some fire right here.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
That thing. Did you see that shit?
I didn't see the flame.
No, that motherfucker went.
Damn.
We'll get the run back on that one.
Yeah. We'll get the instant replay.
We got to make that a short.
Yeah, for sure, the instant replay. This thing is magical, though. It's got a...
It's still smoking, bro. That thing is crazy slow.
That's crazy, the Piatella. I haven't done a hash hole with it yet, so that's the first one, but it's perfect.
Now you know. Yeah, that one's going to be a good one.
I'll send
You're going to be like, watch this, guys.
Exactly. Easy to roll, too. Like, when you can do those snakes like that, where it's like...
It's honestly perfect texture right now. I feel like it's really good. You can just like... Nice little like 0.3s with like a 1.5. It's perfect.
Yeah, I've been using my atom smasher with it too. So I got an old atom smasher where you heat the rod up.
Yeah.
That's how we used to smoke dabs too and hash back in the day. You heat the rod up and you put it in the bowl, and the side, instead of a hole in the bottom, it's got it in the side of the wall of the bowl, right? So when you hit it, the smoke goes through there. And I got a bong attachment and I got the pipe, and I love that style.
Yeah.
So, and that's from the 90s. We used to do all kinds of crazy shit back in the day. I mean, I still have the hookah from back in the day. We got the hookah for hash. And but yeah, and then what was the other one? The coal. You do the hot piece of coal. You get the hot with the torch. You get the coal going.
Yeah.
And it's burning hot. You kind of blow on it, let it cool down a little bit, and then you put your dab on with the fucking little tube.
Jesus Christ! Like that's like freaking, what is that, hookah?
It's almost like hookah, but with fucking with dabs and with hash.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This was pre-rosin. We never had
a big lump of freaking hash on there.
Oh yeah, we used to have bubble hash. We used to do that with back in the day, and then the butter. The whipped.
Okay, yeah. Oh, fuck.
That stuff was so strong.
Oh, my God. That was Jesus Christ. Not anymore, though. We got solventless rosin. Amen.
It's wild. Seriously, dude. I love the rosin now, and I love the solventless rosin. Like these levels of just from the hair straightener to what we have now with these guys with their presses. Shout out to all the rosin makers out there for doing the Lord's work in many ways.
That's
dude.
A lot of work.
Yeah, and even the machines that do it now, dude. It's like pulling bags and these things these guys do. Yeah. It's really impressive to the level that they've taken it from where it was when it was just original hash styles. And I love it all. I love all of it.
No, definitely. I mean, I feel like there's different levels to hash, bro. Honestly, when you got machine-made hash compared to handmade hash, like it's definitely a little bit different, you know. Some machines, I mean, I know there's some good machines out there that make that. What is it like? They separate it through like electricity or something.
Oh yeah, static electricity. They use plasma separators with static electricity.
That's crazy.
Sambo Creek. I know about you guys. You guys are killing it. Like, dude, that shit's wild, dude. Static hash.
That shit's crazy, bro.
Well, you know how they used to make static hash originally before the machine, the plasma machine is like you'd have a glove and you'd rub it around on parchment with the plant material, and then you go brush it into a bowl.
Yeah.
And they did like this serious labor going into making the hash. And I think
crazy.
And I think it's pretty amazing stuff where you're able to separate those heads with static electricity.
Yeah,
and the process is really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So if you had one piece of advice for your younger self, what would that one piece be?
Bitcoin.
I love it. That's an original answer, but hell yeah, dude. Like Bitcoin.
But
we all knew about it. Yeah. I mean, most of us did. We knew about it for a long time.
I know. Oh my God. Damn, we'd be rich.
Yeah.
But man, just don't give up. You know, everything gets better.
Everything gets better. And then it gets worse. And then it gets better.
It's life. It's ups and downs, smiles and frowns. Yeah. You know, but at the end of the day, if you are persistent enough, you're going to get where you want to be in life. You know, one thing I do say is spend the money. Don't save it. Spend it because you can make more. Memories are worth more than money. Tomorrow's not promised. Always remember that. Yeah. It's big, bro.
I was told by somebody once that money's value is in its use and not in its possession.
That part definitely is, man. It definitely 100%. Is. Thanks, Cousin Ed, and thanks, Daryl, because them guys right there educated me all on that. And it's right. You know, it's all about purpose of what you use your money for. Like, you know, if you really want to succeed, then make sure you use that money correctly. Well, if
you start learning about inflation, especially these days, you got to figure out how to invest your money and how to use it correctly. And I think it can be used as a very positive tool. It can be used in a positive way, in a positive light, to make your world a better place than the people around you. Because really, we're alive to live on, have experiences, and to make the world of the lives around us a lot better.
Definitely. That's why I was like, man, content is key, bro. Yeah. It creates a lot of avenues, and it's like, man, I really appreciate the opportunity, dude. This is fire.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. If people are looking to find more about Marco, where's the best place to go?
Man, you can go on our website, connoisseurgradeonly.com, or you can go on to Connoisseur Grade Only on what's that? Instagram?
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, Instagram, you know. We also have a YouTube that's under construction, but definitely coming soon. Connoisseur Grade Only.
Well, yeah. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I look forward to Hash Hole Island in the very near future,
yes.
May 17th. You guys got to be there. I'll be there. Marco's going to be there. Cannabis Brothers. There's a ton of amazing talent.
A lot of people are going to be there. It's going to be so cool. We have a lot of people from SoCal, NorCal, CenCal. We have people coming from different parts of California. The states of the nation. We have New York. We have Colorado. We have Pennsylvania. We have Florida.
Spain. We got Spain. I have friends from Spain that plan on coming.
Yeah, friends from Spain. No, there's people from Spain. There's people from Amsterdam. There's a couple homies that come out from Switzerland all the time.
Nice.
Man, it's crazy. Like it's so cool. So come out. We're gonna have some great rides. We're gonna have some great food, great music. We're gonna have some cool stuff for you guys to enjoy yourself. Cool free prizes. So be ready.
It's gonna be fun. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe down below.